And he said, this is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was, the first description of Noah is amazing. I mean, it's totally perplexing. The first word God spoke about Noah is that Noah was a just man. Noah was a righteous man. Why? How? Noah was a righteous man. It contradicts exactly what we know about Noah. It contradicts, everything that we don't normally talk about Noah. But this is how God qualifies him. First of all, Noah was a righteous man. Why? Faith qualifies you for righteousness. It is his faith that actually made him righteous, not his works. If we are going to be going through our works, we have all failed and we are all condemned. Because even the best of us, our righteousness is like a filthy rag. So God was judging him by his faith. It's just the same thing with us today, just like God judges us with our faith. What is the difference between us and unbelievers? The only difference between you and unbelievers is because you have faith in God. You believed in God. You believed in Christ. And thanks to the fact that you believe in Christ, you are righteous. And the unbelievers are not righteous. Even though, truth be told, that there are some unbelievers that might even be behaving better than you and me. There are some unbelievers that might even be more upright than I and you. There are some unbelievers that might be more disciplined, more pious, and more godly than us. But because we have accepted Christ by faith, that faith justified us and qualified us to be God's children. And that faith justified us and qualified us to be righteous in God. In fact, as a matter of fact, if you know anything about the Muslims are very pious to some extent. Some of them pray 5 times a day. Some of them are very disciplined. They try to seek God in their own way. But we are righteousness of God. Why? Not because we are so righteous by our deeds and by how we behave on a daily basis, but because we are righteous by faith. We believe in it. So that's exactly the same thing that happens up to now. And it's the same thing that was happening in the Old Testament. It is still faith. If you are going to some religious churches, you might be deceived to thinking that it is actually your lifestyle, your actions, how you are living that actually determines your standing with God. But it is not. It is not. Your righteousness and your standing with God does not depend on either you never make mistakes or you never sin or you never do anything wrong. It is another thing if you submit yourself to the power of sin. It's another thing if you serve sin and live in sin intentionally. That is different. But on daily basis, God is looking at your heart. God is looking at your faith. Because if you can't and look at our works, we are all failures even before we started. We were all failures before we started.